Hello there, inspired tenors. As you can see, today we are back on the spreadsheet because we're going to talk about one of the more complex topics in Warframe, and that's trading. Specifically, it has been requested that I cover how you can get some starter platinum, and in my opinion, this is one of the best ways of doing so, even if this method is not always available. We're talking about farming out the new primed Warframe and weapons when they come out and then sell them immediately. Now, before we get started, let me just say that I know that this first part of the spreadsheet is wrong. I'm doing it wrong on purpose to demonstrate how you can farm the relics and where you can farm them, and also show how you might also be thinking about it the wrong way. Then I'll show you how we can actually very easily calculate if it's worth to do these different Warframes and weapons at any given time depending upon the price on the market. So without further ado, let's get right into that. A quick reminder for those of you who are new here. The yellow orangey color here are variables that you can change. The green is the output, so your reward for farming whatever we're looking at, and the blue is stuff that never changes, such as the drop chance or the chance of pulling a specific result from a relic, or just titles in the spreadsheet. So you can pretty much ignore these blue numbers if you like. So let's actually get into this. First up, we need to talk about how you can farm these different relics. For the list relics, you want to do Habit in the Void, which is a capture mission, which can be done in 30 seconds. So with load time, it's going to take you about a minute, but mileage will vary on this. So make sure to put an honest time here so that you get a better result. You have 13% chance of getting the relic you want, but 100% chance of getting a lith relic. Same deal with Axie. Here you want to run Apollo on Lua, which is a disruption mission. This is best done with a squad. If you want this time here, which is 0.8 minutes, then you will absolutely need a dedicated squad. For the first mission, you want to do all 4 conduits. On the second, you only want to do 3 of them. And from the third going forward, you only want to do 2 of them. So defend 2 conduits and fail 2. This way you're guaranteed a Axie relic. For Meso, unfortunately, you have to run the the letters IO defense mission, and that will take you about 2 minutes with a decent drop chance, but the amount of time it takes unfortunately drags this down a lot. Now, Neo can also be gotten from disruption missions on Sedna, for example. Now, the problem here is that the drop chance is actually quite low. This is getting a specific Neo relic. The problem is that there are other rewards in this drop table than just Neo relics, therefore the chances are quite low. So even with a fast clear speed, we also get a relatively low amount of the specific relic we want an hour. Now let's move on to this box over here. So these prices are completely arbitrary because, let's be honest, it's not worth farming Hero Prime now. He's been out for a couple of days and the prices do fall pretty damn quickly. But we're pretending now that we're back in time a couple of days and the prices are still high. Also, no, there is no new relic for Hero, but this is just to calculate with all of the different relic types. This is hyperbole. Don't take this as an actual example. But I'd like to also mention that I made a mistake in my how much IR do you need. I accidentally put this as 0.2 as 20% when it's actually 0.4 because there are 2 silver rewards, 2 uncommon rewards, which each has 20%. So, you know, double of 20% is 40, and that's divided by 2. So it's not half of 20%, it's just 20%. So that's my bad. Now, over here, this is the worth of the average relic. So you get 200 with a lucky pull, getting the item you want, and then when you don't get it, you essentially get nothing. So this number here, well, this here is just these multiplied with each other, and that gives us the average amount you're gonna get per relic you open. Down here I have a 5-minute timer. This includes running the relic, finding a squad, and ratifying the relic if you really want to. Now, you're not going to be able to ratify all of your relics within these 5 minutes. It's going to take you longer if you insist on doing that. So you might want to farm for some of the bronze parts while you are waiting on void trays, while you wait on farming backups for void trays. Now we move over here. This is our profit per hour. And again, here we have our relics. We have our profit, and it's calculated this way. It's all of this just checks how many you can run in an hour realistically, considering how many you will be able to get in an hour, plus the amount of time you're going to spend on opening it, multiplied by the amount you're going to get per relic. As you can see, Axie performs the best here. But then I thought to myself, really, you're only gonna make 1,000 doing this for 8 hours? That doesn't seem quite right. And that's because this is the wrong way of calculating this. Now let me move on to the actual useful part of this spreadsheet. Because it's not just Hero Prime, it's also the Nil and the Scourge Prime. And keep in mind, there are 4 Axie relics which contain parts of these weapons or Warframes. And we are all grinding it from the same place. So we're not actually getting 10 relics which we can open an hour. We're getting 40 because each of these are useful to us. So we have the same calculations as we had before, but with each of the Axie relics instead of the relics for a specific item. This is pretty much the same, except you'll see a box down here which is literally just the average of these, which is just them multiplied with each other and then divided by 4, because there are 4 items, obviously. So we jump over here, same thing, but this number down here is actually the amount that you're going to make. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, I know it looks a little bit crazy, but it's basically the same as before. The difference here is that instead of using these 14%, we're actually adding up all of these here together in one. Okay, so, and again, you don't need to understand all of this, because again, you don't need to change the calculations at any point. The only thing you will have to change when a new primed Warframe comes out with their weapons is these yellow boxes, and there are no calculations in these. These are just actual numbers and the names. There are no calculations going on here. So basically I'm just explaining this for those of you who might be interested in it, but you don't need to understand it in order to use this. Of course, next time a Prime Warframe comes out, I will have this formula ready, and I will of course prepare a spreadsheet as quickly as possible with all the information that you will need to understand which type of relic you should farm. It's almost never going to be Meso, and it's very rarely going to be Neo. Often it's Lith or Axie, but of course I'll go ahead and do the math for you and then get that out as a video as soon as possible. But every minute counts, so don't wait on this. You should go ahead and farm yourself. And if you understand how this works to a suitable degree, then you can of course just fill out this information on your own with the information that's available to you in terms of the prices, and also which type of reward can be gotten from different relics. You most want to get the uncommon rewards. As you can see, the uncommon has the highest chance to actually pull the item you want. Alright, I will absolutely go ahead and make sure that you can have this ready to be used next time Prime comes out. I'm sorry I was a little bit slow on it this time around. As a final note, I do have to add that this number down here is not the amount of platinum you're going to make. Okay, because you have to spend some time in trade chat. These items are not up on Warframe.market yet, so you will not be able to sell them there. You will have to sell these in trade chat. you probably want to prepare a chat message, and then every time you're out in the orbiter, you want to throw this into trade chat and then just start a new mission. If someone contacts you, you can just jump out of the mission you're in or ask them to wait a minute and then trade with them. You don't want to sit in your orbiter and just wait for trades. That's not a good idea. You want to keep going and accept that this is probably not the amount you're going to earn. Now, Kaya did this for, I think, little over a day and a half, and they reported that they've made about 2,000, which seems pretty reasonable, about half of this. And honestly, for a day and a half of work, that's a really good result. So yeah, look forward to this next time a Prime Warframe comes out, so that you can abuse the this farming method as much as possible. Right now, it's not worth doing Harrow. Brute Force is still really good. Events, generally speaking, is better than stuff that's always available for reasons that should be obvious. So, you know, if you want to make platinum, go ahead and do that. It's a great investment. I am making another video today, which is going to detail my investments in more detail, I guess. And I also I also talk about exactly why I think that the brute force bounty is so good, and basically how much platinum I've made from running it so far. Look forward to that, and I guess I'll just see you then.